Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Patriot Act on steroids, Bill S686, the Restrict Act. Make no mistake about it. Remember the Inflation Reduction Act? How they word things? This is a government power grab disguised as a bill to ban TikTok. The outrage over the draconian Restrict Act, marketed to the public as a TikTok ban, is rapidly rising, folks. The Restrict Act is using TikTok, and I did a talk on TikTok, as a smokescreen for the largest expansion of executive power since IEEPA. The U.S. can't beat China, folks, by becoming more like the Chinese Communist Party. This bill is outrageous. When I go over it real quick here, top line it. The proposed Restrict Act could end the internet and freedom as we know it. You know, remember the Patriot Act, all the little stuff that was stuffed in there. So opinions on the internet can be misleading. You may have heard a near universal cheer for the forthcoming federal ban of video sharing app TikTok. It's probably going to go to the government. I don't see it happening fully. We'll see. But, well, put away the champagne corks and poppers, folks. The so-called ban on TikTok bill is a lot more insidious than one may realize. The bottom line, it's insanely broad. So the insanely broad Restrict Act could ban much more than just TikTok. The Restrict Act could theoretically be applied to everything from citizens, corporations, and organizations to labor unions. The bill has been revealed as something far more expansive than a mere TikTok ban. It grants sweeping powers to the federal government, and it's so broad. They can do whatever they want. They don't like you because you're conservative. So sweeping powers of the federal government to restrict the online activities of Americans, imposing heavy penalties. This is insane. Heavy penalties on any citizen who circumvents it, including criminal fines of up to $1 million, jail sentences up to 20 years, and the seizure and search of hardware and online accounts, including cryptocurrency accounts. They're going to come right into your house. If they don't like, I don't know, what you're talking about on the internet, doesn't toe the party line like China. So you would be allowing, the executive branch, the Biden administration, to regulate speech on the internet. That's what this is about, folks. And if you are somehow involved with, quote, a foreign adversary, let's say you oppose the war against Russia right now, you could go to prison for 20 years, folks. I'm not kidding. This bill isn't about banning TikTok. It's never about what they say it is. You know that based on history. We have precedent. Instead, the bill would give enormous and, in my opinion, terrifying new powers to the federal government to punish American citizens and regulate how they communicate with each other. It's incredible. You know what this is about? There is no two parties. It's a two-card Monte to make you think there is two-party. This is about the uniparty at the top. Both guys and gals playing the same team that wants power and control over citizens of the United States. Senator Rand Paul has come out against the bill in an article for the Louisville Courier Journal. The senator and former presidential candidate said the bill would make America more like China. And a lot of other people are coming out, even people on the Democrat side. So there's a lot of kickbacks involved. So let's see what happens. So to those who are worried that the Chinese government might somehow now have access to millions of American teenagers' information, TikTok, realize that all social media sucks up personal data that people voluntarily provide. That's what Senator Paul wrote. So they're voluntary. They don't have to use TikTok, as Paul's argument, which is true. So if you're going to ban TikTok, what's next? Arguably several domestic apps, censor conservatives more. So I see where Mr. Paul's coming from. But, House Republicans on the Financial Services Committee also came out against the Restrict Act. This is unbelievable. Calling it's a smokescreen, which it is. It's a smokescreen for the largest expansion of executive power since, as I said earlier, the IEEPA, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. So I don't want to harp on this too long. In sum, the Restrict Act and its build, as a ban on the CCP-linked TikTok app, which it is. CCP controls the TikTok Act, is actually, in my opinion, a Trojan horse for even more government surveillance. That's from, official accounts of Young Americans for Liberty. You know, I would say this: have we learned anything from the Patriot Act? Okay, we all know what that did, and it's about taking away America's rights. If you study this, this is about the China model. The United States wants to mirror the China model. They love how they control their population in China. If you read this bill, and you say, "Oh no, Tim, they're not going to put 20." Yes, they can, because it's broad. It's written broadly. So if they don't like your views, whatever power, I'm against Republicans and Democrats. You know, the Democratic Party is in power right now. If the Republicans were doing this, I'd be against this. This is about taking away your freedom and rights to communicate on the internet. So, for example, the one party right now that's in power loves the Russia war, and people that are being censored if they speak out against that, you'd go to jail for 20 years if they don't like that. And then we give Republicans power if they get in 2024 and you don't toe the line with what they say, maybe they would do something like that. It's expanding the federal government. I'm all for the FBI and intelligence communities, but the FBI is supposed to be spying on foreigners. But we all know what's been going on in the last 20 years, even under when the FBI first started, what's been going on. So this is a broad expansion on paper of governmental power over communication on the internet, what they deemed is inappropriate. It's written very broadly, ladies and gentlemen. And I think you should look into it and be against this. I think both parties are coming out speaking against it. TikTok video I did, like some Senator Paul came out and gave a speech on the Senate floor, say, hey, you don't have to use TikTok. What are we going to ban corporations and certain things? So he made some powerful arguments on both sides, constitutional arguments, because he's a constitutionalist. But ByteDance controls TikTok, and it's propagandized. They're stealing our data, and that's a problem. But the way they're doing this, they're saying, well, we're going to ban it's government. Government employees are not going to be able to use TikTok, and they're talking about they're going to ban it completely, but they're not going to ban TikTok because there's too much money. CCP. So, but they're using it as a backdoor and expanding government power through the Restrict Act. I say no to the Restrict Act. Take care.